Have you ever been asked, so, how was your day in English? And you just blank? You search for the words, but they don't quite come out right. It seems like such a simple question, right? But talking about our daily routines can be surprisingly tough. Well, that's exactly what we're going to fix today. We're going to learn all the key words and phrases you need to talk about everything, from the moment your alarm goes off to when your head hits the pillow. Let's dive in. So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover one super simple grammar rule that makes all of this a breeze. Then, we'll build up our morning vocabulary and see how it actually works in a conversation. We'll do the exact same thing for the evening, and then, at the end, we'll put it all together to describe a full day. Easy, right?
Okay, the one, and I mean the one tool you really need for this is the simple present tense. That's it. We use it for habits, for routines, basically anything you do regularly. So instead of a complicated sentence like, I am waking up every day, you just say, I wake up. See? It simplifies everything, and it's absolutely the key to sounding natural when you're talking about your day-to-day life.
All right, let's start where every day starts, the morning. We're going to collect some essential keywords. I want you to think of these words as little building blocks, like Legos, that you can use to build the story of your morning.
First things first, you wake up. That's when your eyes open, but you get up when you actually, swing your legs out of bed. Little difference, but it's good to know. After that, it's that classic routine, right? I brush my teeth, I take a shower, maybe do my hair, and finally, I get dressed. These are the core actions that get pretty much everyone's day started.
And now for what some people call the most important meal of the day, breakfast. You might eat breakfast at home. Maybe you even cook breakfast yourself. Waffles, anyone? Or, if you're like me and always in a hurry, maybe you buy breakfast from a food stand on your way to work. And of course, you need something to drink. Do you make coffee at home, or are you more of a drink tea kind of person?
Okay, this is where we add some real personality. These little words, they give your story so much more detail and make it feel real. You don't just wake up. You wake up at 7 a.m. You don't just drink coffee. You usually drink coffee every day. Sprinkling these expressions into your sentences is what takes your English from good to great.
So we've got our keywords. We have our little building blocks. But how do we actually use them when we're talking to someone? Let's check out a couple of examples. This is where all that vocabulary really comes to life.
So, imagine someone asks you about your morning. Something simple like, what time do you wake up? And what do you do after that? How would you answer using the words we just learned? Let's look at a really simple, totally natural sounding example.
There it is, a perfect, natural conversation. Person asks the question, and person B gives a straight, simple answer using our keywords, I wake up at 7 a.m., and then I brush my teeth and take a shower. See how easy that is? It's clear, it's direct, and it sounds fantastic.
Okay, let's try another one. This is a super common situation. Not everybody has time to sit down and eat at home in the morning. So if someone asks you, do you eat breakfast at home? How do you explain your routine?
This is a brilliant example. You can start with a simple, no, I don't. Then, when they ask for more info, you add the details. I buy breakfast at a food stand and eat it at work. Notice how combining these simple phrases paints a really clear picture of what you actually do. It's perfect.
We've totally mastered the morning. Awesome. Now, let's hit fast forward through the workday or school or whatever you do. The sun is going down, and it's time to start winding down. Let's learn the essential keywords for talking about your evening.
So the day is done, you leave work or finish school, and then you get home. And what's next? Dinner, of course. And you've got options here. You can cook dinner if you're feeling inspired, you could order dinner if you just want to relax, or maybe you decide to eat out with some friends.
And now for what might just be the best part of the day, your free time. How do you like to relax? Maybe you love to watch TV or binge something on YouTube or Netflix. Maybe you play games or get lost in a good book. Or perhaps you just like to listen to music or scroll and use my phone. All of these are perfect ways to talk about how you unwind.
And finally, we're at the last few steps before sleep. This is your night routine. You might take a bath, wash my face, and of course, brush my teeth again. Then you change into pajamas, go to bed, and hopefully you fall asleep almost immediately.
All right, you know the drill by now, right? Just like we did for the morning, let's see how we can put all these evening keywords together into a simple, natural conversation. Let's break down that answer. Notice how person B combines a bunch of our keywords into really simple, clear sentences. I get home around 7 p.m. and relax. And for the next part, I brush my teeth and wash my face. I go to bed around 11 p.m. It's so efficient, but it tells the whole story perfectly.
So we have all of our building blocks. We have them for the morning, for the evening, for the night, all of them. Now it's time for the final step, putting them all together to tell the complete story of your day.
This timeline is a great way to see the flow of a whole day, from start to finish. I wake up at 7 a.m., then we can just summarize the middle bit with something simple like I work. Then I get home at 7 p.m., followed by I eat dinner and watch TV, and the final step, I go to bed at 11 p.m. And that's it. That's a full day described in just a few clear sentences.
And let's not forget the grammatical glue that holds all of this together, the simple present tense. It is the absolute perfect tense for habits and routines, which is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. I get home, I eat dinner, I go to bed. This is the natural way to talk about daily life.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. We've given you the building blocks. The real magic happens when you start combining them to tell the story of your unique day. Your routine is yours alone. So go ahead and mix and match these phrases to fit your real life.
And that brings us right to our final question, which is really a challenge for you. We've laid out all the pieces, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. So now, using these building blocks, take a second and think, how would you describe your day? Give it a shot. I know you can do it. You've got this.